Roman Reigns just made a couple of new reveals on Smackdown, so we'll check in on what he had to say. We'll also see what's going on with the new women's tag team, Lacey Evans, and more. Starting off with the big return of Lacey Evans. Fans noticed that the Smackdown after WrestleMania had the feel of what we usually expect from the Raw after WrestleMania. There were returns of familiar faces, debuts of new faces, and new feuds starting up. One of those familiar faces was Lacey Evans. Lacey has been out of WWE action for just over a year, but earlier in the week, news broke out that Lacey would appear on Smackdown. Lacey was in the middle of a big program with Charlotte Flair last WrestleMania season. That was rumored to conclude with a big WrestleMania 37 title match for the Raw Women's title. But Lacey announced her pregnancy and that match was scrapped. But after a year away and giving birth to her second child, Lacey did in fact appear on SmackDown via a pre-recorded video to reintroduce herself to the fans. Her old persona and character appears to be gone. Lacey spoke from the heart during this teaser, talking about her military background, the struggles of her life growing up, and her family, which most definitely leads everyone to believe we'll be seeing a new persona for Lacey Evans that will most likely be a babyface one. And take a look at who's still champion, Charlotte Flair. So, if WWE so pleases, they can resume that Lacey Evans versus Charlotte Flair feud from last year. Only difference now is that both roles have been drastically flipped. Charlotte was the babyface and Lacey was the ruthless heel last year. But those roles will now be reversed if they pick that feud back up on SmackDown. Lacey Evans will now be the babyface, while Charlotte Flair is now the heel. Maybe Lacey Evans is even the one to dethrone Charlotte Flair, or give her a big loss. So, if they decide to pick that story back up, it'll definitely be interesting to see how it unfolds now that the roles have been reversed. Another big rumor just started going around for the SmackDown Women's Tag Team division. The Women's Tag Team division is basically still in the same spot that it's been at for a long time. And that's the fact that you have a handful of solid teams, random teams that were just thrown together a few weeks ago, and very little depth. So the women's tag team division is always in need of some help, no doubt about it. And that help could soon be on the way. Reports claim that Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler teaming up in the women's tag team division is something that's in the plans for the future. And this is a very exciting idea and tag team. Ronda and Shayna are the best of friends. Majority of WWE fans are aware of that, but they have never crossed paths or worked together in any way on WWE television. They briefly saw each other in the Royal Rumble match, but besides that, they haven't done much of anything together. But according to these new reports, Ronda and Shayna linking up as a tag team is something that's in the works. It'd be interesting to see how that team would look like and how dominant they would be. We've seen Shayna dominate the tag team division with Nia Jax before, but the WWE storyline for that team was that they didn't get along and were a bit dysfunctional as a team. But the storyline between Ronda and Shayna should be much different. They should be a perfectly functional team considering their chemistry and friendship. They should easily become champions and have a dominant run. Maybe even put the women's tag team division back on the map. But for now, Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair will meet at WrestleMania Backlash in a I Quit match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Will Ronda finally make Charlotte quit and give up the title? Or will Charlotte do the unthinkable and make Ronda quit? These two are some of WWE's most dominant stars, so it's hard to imagine either of them quitting a match, but that's what's going to happen at Backlash. One of these two will have to say, I quit. Now let's get into everything that happened with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline at SmackDown. Roman said that he would announce his next step on SmackDown, and that's exactly what he did. Roman revealed what the next step was, and that was for the Bloodline to pretty much capture every single title in WWE. Roman did give off the impression of the Bloodline coming after every single title in WWE, but he specifically focused on the Raw tag team titles. He mentioned how he has 2 titles and he's just one person, so now he believes that each of the Usos should have 2 titles as well. One title is no longer enough. for the Bloodline members. Roman wants the Usos to go to Raw and bring him back the Raw Tag Team titles. Now, this is a very interesting idea. It also goes back to the popular fan theory from 2020, when Roman was first walking around and calling himself WWE's biggest star and one true champion. Everyone questioned why Roman didn't go over to Raw and try to take the WWE title to legitimize his claim even more. 2 years later, WWE ended up doing that exact story for Roman, but it's not stopping with just him. He wants the Usos to unify the tag team titles. And if the Usos get that done, who knows what Roman would do after that? Does he get the Usos involved with the United States and Intercontinental title scenes? Does Roman finally recruit a woman to join the Bloodline so that they can hold gold in the women's division as well? Just how far will Roman and the Bloodline go with this new gold chase? Will they really come for every single title in WWE? There's a popular meme where fans put every single title on one superstar. Well, this may be the one storyline that actually brings that meme to reality. The Usos winning that Raw Tag Team title seems realistic. That's something that can actually happen. Maybe WWE wants to have one world champion and one set of tag team champions again, and if that's the case, if that's what they really want, then it actually makes sense for the Usos to complete that task for Roman and unify the tag team titles. But that may be the end for their gold rush right there, because giving the Bloodline and the United States and Intercontinental titles as well is when things may start to get out of hand. At that point, both shows would literally revolve around the Bloodline, and they'll have to be in multiple feuds all at once to defend all those titles. So bringing both mid-card titles into the group is when things may get a bit too hectic and unrealistic. So maybe those titles won't be joining the Bloodline. But as far as the Usos winning the Raw Tag Team titles, that's something that we may have a realistic shot at seeing. If Roman is going to be the one world champion for both brands, might as well have the Usos be the tag team champions for both brands as well. Roman was also confronted by Nakamura during the closing moments of Smackdown, so he'll be Roman's next challenger. It's been a while since we've seen Nakamura in the main event picture, but he's been in the spot before, so it'll be great to see how that story unfolds. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Do you think Roman and the Usos will capture all the titles in WWE? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.